Hey friends, it has been a minute since I've made a video, but let me explain why. My book came out. Free with Every Kid's Meal, The Cultural Impact of Fast Food Toys is the first peer-reviewed cultural impact study of fast food toys. It talks about the history. It talks about how we can read these toys to understand what they mean in our society. I am really proud of this one. Of course, the book only came out July 2nd, so up until then I was working on all the final steps that goes into one of these. If you'd like to read it, you can find it on Amazon or via the publisher's website, McFarland. Currently, it's $10 off. Of course, the delay also means that I have a ton of stuff to show you. So I'd like to kick this off by showing you 22 toys, rapid fire, all of which I got in Mexico City. And at the end of this, I'll tell you how you can get in on this action too. Okay, number one. I'm gonna save that for last, actually. There's an interesting story with this one. Here is a 1991 Connect-A-Car Grimace. This was available in the UK, somehow made its way to Mexico City where I found it. You can take it apart, connect it to other toys, and have a lot of fun. Okay, this one not different from a US line called McDino Changeables. This one is the little dino here that pops up out of the ice cream. Though I got this one in Mexico City, there's really not much difference between it and the US version. In fact, I'd be willing to say no difference at all. Here is a 1999 Ronald McDonald on a skateboard. This was for the Xtreme sports line. Everything in the 90s was extreme. You could rev this thing up and let it go. It's really cool. Okay, so this one is really interesting. McDonald's fans will recognize this as Birdie. You might even recognize it as the figurine that was used in the Halloween costume set where she was a pumpkin, but there's a couple of interesting differences between this figure and that figure. So this figure, the one I found in Mexico, you'll see the M is either painted or kind of left unpainted so that it's yellow. It is also stamped 1997. You might not be able to see that here on the foot, but it is stamped 1997, whereas the Halloween Birdie is stamped 1995. So that means this came out a little bit later, perhaps independently. Not entirely sure of the line or the promotion. It might have just been the figurine all by itself. Functionally, the mold is the same, but you will notice some minor paint differences. There are some, I believe, in the pigtails. There's also, as I said before, the M. The shade of pink also used is a little bit different. So some fun little variations like that. Can't fully explain them, but I do find these kinds of things very intriguing. If you know the deal with this 1997 Birdie and how it's different from the 1995 US one, let me know. Okay, who says McDonald's gets to have all the fun? This one is from Burger King. It's from the movie Hop. You can pull on the little tail and it drums. A lot of fun, but again, not super sure this is any different from what we had in the US, but it was a delightful little release that I got in a lot in Mexico City. Here's an international release from 1999. It's Birdie in a little wind-up car. She looks really cool, and I think a little bit beyond the years when they were typically doing these kinds of little racers and things. So it's fun to see one from 1999, and she just looks adorable in there. So not all of what I found was fast food. This one is from Kellogg's. It is a Batman and Robin movie book from 1997 that came with the cereal. If you open it up, you'll notice that the images all pop up. The text, of course, is in Spanish, which makes a lot of sense for Mexico, but it is a lot of fun. A little cute little booklet of Batman and Robin tells the whole movie in 3 pages. That tells you something right there, doesn't it? Here's another Kellogg's promo. This one obviously Toucan Sam. Can't find a ton about this, but it is a fun little toy. You can squish it like that. I'm assuming it might spit out some water or at least air when you do so. It's got a little team number on the back there too. I'm assuming this came in cereal some point in the 90s, I would guess, but a lot of fun still. There's a fun little Super Mario Pepsi twist cap. This one is maybe not necessarily Mexican. It might be Japanese. I picked it up at a collectible store and I just happened to like it, so home with me it came. There is a Nestle Quick or NesQuik Rabbit. This one is a ton of fun. It actually has a lot of articulation for what it is. The arms move, the head moves, the wheels move, of course. So it offers a lot for what it is. I wonder if this came maybe in pieces or something and you assembled it. When I got it, it was sort of coming apart a little bit, but it clicked back into place. So it kind of made me wonder about that. But I really like it. I think it's super cute and happy it's in my collection. So you might not be able to make this out, but on the top of that car it says Zucaritas, which is kind of the Mexican Frosted Flakes, is essentially the same thing. It's sort of a boring car. It probably had stickers at some point or another that could make it a little more dynamic, but yeah, other than that, it's just a serial promo car, nothing too special, but again, came in a lot of stuff that I decided to just hang on to. So this little guy I had to look up. This is Pelon Pelo Rico from Tamarind Treat. It's like a candy that they have in Mexico. There's the sort of mascot of that. Again, super articulated for what it is. It kind of rotates around like that. Nothing really on the back, but he's a fun little character, a little mascot, and it's great to have him in plastic form. So these are from the Kinder Eggs. The Kinder Eggs that are available in Mexico are the ones that are actual eggs that have the plastic egg in the center that you can crack open. This is from Dino City in 2011. And there's another Kinder Egg Dino City toy from 2011. So there is a Nestle Helados, or ice cream truck. It's got some ice cream samples on the side there that you can get. It's really cute. It's small, you know, maybe just a little bit bigger than a Monopoly piece might be. But I do like that the wheels move. I don't think the back of it, wait, let me see. Does the back of it open up? It does. Oh, I didn't realize that. The back of it opens up. That is fun. Okay, so, you know, this just got 100 more points in my book for doing that. Great little toy. I don't know if you got it with an ice cream or if you mailed away or what, but really cool toy. Boing! Can I say anything else about this other than boing? Well, not really. It's a fruit juice, and I don't know much more about this toy than that. It actually does not open. I've confirmed that, so uh-oh. But I don't know exactly when this came out. It doesn't really say on the bottom, but I do think it's still a fun little truck, and especially because I don't know the brand on the side of it. I'm sure it's very popular. It's just obviously not something I would have had exposure to. Looks good, though. This is a Tutsi Pop Skateboard. Pretty self-explanatory, but just don't lick it. There's nothing at the center other than plastic. This is my cat's toy. I don't know how that got in there. There's a karate NesQuik Rabbit, or Nestle Quick Rabbit. It actually does move and actually has a mechanism in there where he can karate chop. So don't know if this came mixed in with the powder or what, but it is a fun little figurine that recalls that Wascally Wabbit. Oh wait, no, that was the other one. Never mind. This guy. Here's a classic McDonald's 1989 Funny Fry Friends. I don't think there's much different about this one other than the fact that it is missing its accessory. I think it had a little headband or something that it came with, but these were released in the US. I think the color scheme is the same, so there's not much really to say about this other than I got it in Mexico City, so it's special to me because of that. So these are interesting. These are Pepsi Episode 1 Star Wars cards. There's a few of them in each pack, and I got this one. Why don't we take a look inside and see which cards we got? Okay, so that's cool. It is just a card of the Sebulba Pod Racer toy. Interesting. I did have this toy, and so that is actually kind of a meaningful card for me. But it's an interesting way to make a trading card. You just kind of take a picture of the toy and boom, there you go. All right, we've got a Queen Amidala up next. Very cool in her robes. On the back, they have some of them, these little puzzle pieces, so that when you put them together, you can complete a card. Not all of them have that, but a lot of them do. This one is a Darth Maul. As you can see, there he is, Darth himself. There's nothing really on the back of that one. Well, actually, that might be a puzzle piece. It's just kind of the same color almost. And then last up we have another little Queen Amidala, Reina Amidala, but this gives you a little bit of information about the character as if we didn't know. And on the back we have some Anakin goggles. I'm assuming that'd be probably like the center, near the center of a card puzzle for him. And that's it. Very cool. Okay, so remember how I said at the beginning I'd get back to this Bugs Bunny toy? Well, I think it's time to do that now. I'd like to talk about this in conjunction with this. It is obviously a helmet. Both of them are from KFC. That's a little bit more clear for the helmet, but these are 2025. These are modern toys, came out this year. This one came with the kids' meals. This one was sold independently, so you could get it just with anything. The thing that interests me about this is they're fairly unremarkable otherwise, But in the US, KFC does not offer kids meal toys. And this was actually a statement that was put out by the KFC CEO where he said, we don't offer kids meal toys because we don't want to encourage unhealthy eating habits, and we think that toys are kind of unfairly like luring kids into eating kids meals, and we don't want to do that. Well, okay, but in Mexico, they do. That is part of the kids meal. So either eating a kid's meal with a toy is somehow ethically wrong, or it isn't. I don't think that changes depending on which country you're in. So I find that a little confusing at best as to why we can get a kid's meal toy there and we can't here. If it were just that, I wouldn't really mind, but because it became this whole sort of publicity thing, I'm wondering about the logic of this. Either it's good for you or it's not, and we just don't care that it's not good for some people. I don't know. I leave it to the individual to decide how they feel about the ethics of kids' meal toys. It's not really up to me to say. I have my own opinion about it, but it's not really up to me to arbitrate. However, I do want to hold CEOs to their words on these things, and I just wonder why this is. As promised, I'd like to talk a little bit about how you can get in on these toys. If you're in Mexico City, I highly, highly, highly recommend visiting MUJAM. That is Museo del Juguetes, their toy museum. Just look it up on your Uber app if you're Ubering to it, which I recommend you do. It's not very far from the main tourist centers if you're a tourist like I was. I highly recommend you go. They don't tend to advertise much. They're kind of a word of mouth place, but they have exhibited so many toys, and the history of this place is crazy. You should absolutely go visit it. You'll see things you don't know, and you get to buy stuff too. So they actually have toys there that you can take home and purchase. That's where I got a number of these toys. I got them from there, so I highly recommend you do the same. I think you'll have a great time. Thanks so much for checking out this video, a toy tour of Mexico City. If you enjoyed what you saw and heard, please feel free to like and subscribe. That helps us grow. And until next time, which will hopefully be very soon, open your toys.